Hi, this is Universal 144. So I'm going to talk about walk-ins, okay? So the last video that I made was like basically it was walk-ins versus open vessels, okay? There's a huge difference. And everybody is to each their own on this, right? Everybody's had their own experience about this. So walk-ins, when a walk-in happens, it is, as long as you know this, even if you don't know this is what kind of happens. So there are fractals to everyone's sovereign soul. Okay, when you're completely sovereign, there are fractals of you that are going on in multiple different ways. I'm not going to talk about dimensions because people are going to get freaked out. And even if you do get freaked out, that's your problem. That's not my problem. There are dimensions, okay? There are, right? So the fractals of you, just because you're here, right, on the third rock from the sun, and you don't, a lot of people call you a star seed, okay? And some people's like, oh, well, I'm a star seed from this place, blah, blah, and you just look crazy, batshit, okay? So don't even talk about it. If you know, you know. You don't have to tell anybody about it, okay? There's that. So the fractal of you, when you have a moment, right? And really this is like the soul's blueprint. So I'm kind of going way forward. I was supposed to talk about the soul's blueprint, 6 months ago, but most people understand, most people understand that. Do I really have to explain it? I already wrote a freaking ghostwrite book on it. Everybody's read it, okay? Highly popular. Thank you. Okay? Nobody knows it's me, but yeah. Hello. Thank you. So all that shit did not just come from my being. It was stuff that I'd written down for like almost 6 years. And I ghostwrited it and published it. And boom. Okay? So there's that. But when you have a walk-in, it's usually a time in the life where there's a huge, massive decision that your oversoul makes, and you use, because we have all these fractals of parts of us, okay? You use a certain fractal of your structure that you came down here with, and you say, abort mission, okay? This has happened to me in forms of losing consciousness that a lot of people would call death. So there has been 2 times where I've drowned, okay? 2 times where I drowned in my life, okay? And so that's when I had the walk-in. So it's basically just another fractal of myself that came into my body, but it's me. It's not an entity. It's you, your higher self, that comes in because certain events occur. And I don't know if they're planned or not. I would like to think so. I would like to think that they are. Because sometimes with the current blueprint that some people that I was on was so messed up at the time that it did take an act of God to just have me flatline for a second for a different fractal of me to come in because I was not speaking up, okay? I wasn't, we won't even get into it. Most of you know what I'm trying to say, okay? This can also happen when you're older. This can happen. So some people have strokes. They have TIAs and stuff like that, right? There's the option for a walk-in, okay? But it's a walk-in of your own fractals, okay? So you don't have to be afraid of it. sometimes people have strokes and they come back and they have this accent they've never had before. That's a walk-in, okay? And people are like, oh, so-and-so is different. So-and-so is talking with an accent from freaking Australia and they're from freaking America. And then they're just like, what the fuck, you know? Like, what's up with this person? But the person can still eventually, after the stroke heals and this and that, you know, depending on what type, over years, they can still function and do daily tasks and go back to normal, right? But they still have that little accent that they've never had before the stroke, right? So, and I've witnessed this in medical, okay? So there's that. Also, so I guess I'm supposed to talk about the purpose of walk-ins, but everybody pretty much knows what the purpose of a walk-in is. So basically, when you're a twin soul, I'm not talking about twin flame relationships. I'm talking about a twin soul. So when you're in two places at once, which actually most twin souls are in multiple places at once, not just two. Lindell. Like, we're everywhere, okay? Because you have fractals. You are a starseed and this and that, and it's going to sound crazy, but you're not of here, okay? You didn't just like incarnate here. I don't care if you guys believe in incarnation. I don't care if you guys believe in whatever and you're like super religious. And if this conflicts with you, don't watch me, okay? Because I'm just going to be completely honest about what I know. And that's it. I don't care if you want to believe this or not. In fact, just don't. You know? I just don't. Don't email me, okay? So, there can be moments where we produce, okay, a life form. And when we do that, that's a fraction of us because we don't want the walk-in, okay? So the walk-in happens through birthing. And this is where women who birth children and men who impregnate children, they say, oh my gosh, I can see myself in my child's eyes. Yeah, that's a way of a walk-in. If you didn't know, now you know. And sometimes they will say, if you look through the family tree, and I've had this told to me, that I look so much like a certain person in the family that's been dead at least, 10 years before I came into existence, physical existence. They'll say, oh my gosh, you look just like Teresa. And your laugh is just like hers. And your personality is just so much like Teresa. And I'm like, wait a second here. To everybody in the family. Like, no, I am my own being. But am I really? I'm a fractal, okay, of somebody who is super sovereign and who checked the fuck out, okay? And so there's fractals of other people you take in, right? And so your child, if you choose to, they will harness some fractals of very high vibrational people to help clear energy. I don't want to call it karma or dharma. I just want to call it energy, right? So certain fractals will come through people, okay, that are sovereign and walk through them in certain areas of their existence. And that will remind you of somebody else in the past who's way beyond past over, like crossed over, already been cocooned and just coming through as a straight conduit. That is a walk-in, okay? Because it will remind you of something high vibrational instead of something versus an open vessel, which is demonic, that will cause issues, okay? So there's a difference between those two, but there are so many things about walk-ins that a lot of people don't understand, and they can come in and come out, right? Sometimes with strokes, they can be a little bit permanent. And what I mean by permanent, like last quite a few years. And it's like you don't even know the person anymore because they have the accent, this and that. They don't like certain things, okay? And the less permanent walk-in is, I'll use myself for an example. One day, no shit, Linda, one day I stopped watching TV in 2016. Like I completely quit watching TV. Like I used to watch all this stuff, you know? I had a really nice TV, really nice apartment. And I quit watching it, but I was still paying a cable bill for I don't know what reason. I think it was like an election year or something like that. And so I was watching like One American News or something. I don't know. And then like the Royals in Kansas City were like playing. And so I wanted to watch that. But other than that, like I never watched TV anymore. I just, I stopped watching. It might have been 2015. I don't know. Worst witness. Okay. So, and so I just quit. I quit that. And then, so that was enough of me. Like that was something really freaking strange, right? Because I was so like addicted to watching TV because I had been working from home, right? And so like in the middle of me, like I would get all my stuff done within 3 hours. It takes most people 8 hours at a job. It would take me 3, and I'd get all that shit done, and then I'd catch up on TV. Like I would watch The Housewives, seriously. But I was in my early 20s. Okay, don't judge me. And I was like so addicted to this shit. And then just one day, I was just like, I don't even want to watch this shit. I just don't. So I didn't. It was just like night and day. And then a few years later, I went to Texas when I left Kansas City. And right before I went to Texas, like, I no longer wanted to drink coffee. Any of you guys that knew me in Kansas City, I was a coffee fanatic. All I did was drink coffee and smoke cigarettes. Seriously. And then all of a sudden, boom, I just didn't like coffee. Maybe one day I will not like cigarettes, but we'll get there one day. Okay? So it was just, it's these things, and those are walk-ins, okay? Where you just don't like stuff anymore that you used to be so into, okay? This is what I'm talking about. So the other thing is like you'll get this this thought form and this feeling inside you to start doing something that you completely dismissed in the brain, in the thought form, years back, that you were supposed to do. So the walk-in will re-guide you to that, and you will start working on it and build upon it. Hence, myself, for example, ghostwriting, okay? And I never thought in my wildest dreams that anyone would ever listen to me on anything, you know? Because as a child, I was always, shh, be quiet, your opinion does not matter, okay? So I had this, but then I'm like, okay, hand to paper. I was like, well, don't put your name on it, Heather, because nobody ever listens to you. That was the walk-in with me. And they said, make up a name. So I did. And it blew the fuck up. like, not to brag here, but I'm going to brag about this. And I'm very proud of myself for doing it. Okay? And there's a lot of stuff, you know, that I would have never said in my own skin. Okay? Those are walk-ins. Okay? And for those of you that are afraid to like be labeled in some sort of way for what you know, right? Or something that can change the collective mindset, do not be afraid. You can ghostwrite it. Okay? Some people call it like your whatever part of you. I don't know if like the ego self or something. Mine's not fucking ego. It's just a walk-in. It's the most basic fucking name. It's the most basic name, you know? It's not like, what's her name? And like how she makes like a, I don't know, like, you know, certain famous people have like an alter ego or something. No, this is not my alter ego. This is like one part of me, which is a walk-in that talks about things that are highly personable. And I pour my heart out onto paper and I talk about experiences, and it's not, and I put them together. And that's all it is. And so many people can relate, you know, because everybody's human. Okay? All right, that's all I have. But walk-ins are very important. You will know when you have them because you change certain behaviors. Okay? Like quitting any type of thing, like stop drinking coffee, stop drinking, stop watching the freaking news, stop drinking, stop smoking. Hopefully that walk-in comes in soon. Just all kinds of things. Okay? So, I mean, and it's always to assist you for your highest good, right? You will know this because a walk-in always assists you for your highest good. You will lose low vibe tribe friends that were not supposed to be with you in the first place. They'll just like fall off, you know? So there's that about walk-ins. I'm not going to talk any more about this. You'll also notice that when you have a walk-in for your highest good, right? This is not you being a conduit for like a negative entity, okay? The walk-in, which is a fractal of your soul, okay? Of the highest good for you. You will make more money. You will get job opportunities, okay? More people will be attracted to you in all ways, not just romantically, but in all ways. And you won't feel the need to be attached to anyone. You'll just be happy with yourself. That's where I'm at. So, and these walk-ins are you. It's just your higher self coming through to assist you because you managed to achieve a higher, I don't want to put it like this, but basically you vibrate higher than most. And so therefore the soul, the higher self, can walk into you. These are walk-ins, but they're fractals of your soul. They are of you. Okay? Because they're of your bloodline, DNA. They're helpers. Okay? All right, that's all I have. Thank you.